Good morning, TFS, and happy Solemnity of the birth of St. John the Baptist. It is 6 months till Christmas Eve, so get your countdown started today, as well as all those lists of presents and all good things you want to have at Christmas. Hopefully this Christmas will be more miraculous and extraordinary and wonderful and glorious than ever. I'm hoping to be able to celebrate some of it with all of you. Today, though, I am coming to you from the lobby of St. Francis Preschool, our preschool, where we introduce small people, very small people at times, to the wonders of what it means to be both a people of faith and a people of learning. Behind me, you see the sculpture of the Holy Family, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. You may have also seen it in another video that I did that's on the TFS Facebook page. But here today, because it is, again, the Solemnity of St. John the Baptist. It is actually a solemnity that happens in two parts. We often don't celebrate it in the two parts, but it's important to know the two parts. There's a vigil, which should have happened last night, and then the day celebration, which happens today. The gospel for the vigil celebration is the message to Zechariah that Elizabeth, in her advanced age, would have a son. Zechariah refuses to believe it, as any man perhaps would, and he is struck mute. And so he remains that way until today, in which we hear of John not having been born, but now being named. And the name comes from Elizabeth herself, who says that his name is John. Zechariah agrees, and the mouth of Zechariah is opened, and the great Benedictus hymn, which is always a part of morning prayer in our tradition, is prayed by Zechariah. In this world in which we live, we need prophets, most desperately perhaps than any other time in our lives. We need people who can see beyond the present, who can see a future, who can see a destiny for all of us. In this time in which we are living, with its unrest and its difficulties and its fears, its terrors, its anxieties, many of us basically are trying to be prophets on our own, using our own human will, our own human ingenuity, our own human designs, creativity, imagination, which are all good to an extent. But really the only thing that can allow us to speak that prophecy that is needed by all of us is God, which is why we need to be people of faith, especially in this time, who are able to discern for ourselves a future and a destiny in the times that are perhaps most dark, most bleak, most uncertain, most scary, most frightening. May we become the prophets that John was, to continue to lead people to Christ, to God, to assure them of hope when there doesn't seem to be any hope, of a future when all seems lost, of love and of life when there only seems to be darkness and death. That is our mission always as believers, and may we fulfill it with all the strength and power that God can give us. Happy Feast of St. John the Baptist. May the Lord give you all peace.